Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome. I'm very pleased to be joined by Kevin Lawlor. Kevin is Senior Vice President of Engineering at Ambient Fuels, and you're going to be speaking at the forthcoming World Hydrogen Congress in North America, which is due pretty soon now, so 15th to 17th of May in Houston. So welcome, Kevin. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for welcoming me. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today.
Yeah, so interesting background. You come from, I guess, the pipes background in terms of gas, and just before we were obviously having a little chat about ambient fuels and the business. So, can you give us a little bit of background to your experience and where you come to hydrogen, and where you're coming from? Sorry.
Yes, my educational background is chemical engineering, and I've spent 28 years in mostly the natural gas business on the upstream, midstream, and downstream side. I've also had different forays when I was working for an engineering, procurement, and construction company with building agricultural chemical plants such as ammonia, methanol, and urea.
Ah,
So that's my background, and
yeah,
about a year and a half ago, I started to make the transition into the hydrogen space and applying all of the skills that I've learned with building chemical process plants into developing a green hydrogen oriented company that will serve not just the traditional users of hydrogen, such as the petroleum refining industry, as well as the agricultural chemical industry, but non traditional users of hydrogen that are exploring the opportunity to decarbonize their processes by replacing natural gas either to use as a prime mover for fueling an engine or something that would replace natural gas as a source for industrial heat for an industrial process.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, we obviously we've seen the IRA, we've seen a huge, steady growth, but now probably a real sort of sharp drive of interest in hydrogen, and exactly that what you're saying in terms of expanding the usage cases for hydrogen. I guess a real inflection point. What do you think are going to be some of the challenges involved, given your sort of engineering background about expanding those usage cases for hydrogen?
Some of the challenges that I see is that in the traditional industries that have used hydrogen, there's very well known and established engineering specifications on how to design facilities properly and how to operate facilities to minimize any of the potential risks associated with hydrogen. We normally, when we're working with customers that are outside those traditional hydrogen using industries, have numerous questions about how to design and operate facilities safely as they start to incorporate hydrogen either as a blend with natural gas or using it 100% for their processes. That is a key component. Also, the kind of contractual methodology around how hydrogen is bought and sold is something that is evolving. And that is also, once those standards are put in place, I think you'll see the acceleration of hydrogen as a fuel stock or as a feedstock for different processes.
Yeah. And I mean, in terms of, I guess we're still waiting on further sort of details to come through. I mean, the devil is always in the detail around, I guess, the definitions of green hydrogen, and what are some of the, have you got any concerns about how it could become too complex, or about some of the remaining detail that we're all waiting for?
I think everyone that is in the green hydrogen space is waiting on additional information regarding the IRA and how hydrogen will need to be contracted, the electrical supply for the green hydrogen in order for it to be considered green, because that's going to directly affect how we design facilities and where we design facilities. The renewable energy resources are critical, and if we have to be directly connected or if we can operate, and be connected from a grid and contractually green up our electrical supply, and what does that mean with regards to the overall, new build of renewable energy in the industry is critical questions that we're all asking ourselves and waiting for the guidance from the government.
Yeah. And I guess the green hydrogen industry is very much, I guess, a renewable gas industry, and those two words coming together. Renewable previously has been electricity, and gas is obviously gas. And looking at ambient fuels, and you mentioned it before, wires and pipes. You're a wires and pipes company, so you got these two cultures coming together. What are the different sort of backgrounds, and how are you sort of blending those cultures together? What is particular to the gas industry that the renewable electricity, I guess, don't see or don't understand? What are some of the key differences you see?
Some of the key differences I see from people that come from a renewable energy background when they're moving into green hydrogen is they're experiencing a lot of new programs and new concepts that are part of traditional building of chemical plants. Process safety management, having to work with operations that are potentially fire and explosive hazards, and the overall complexity of the facilities themselves. There's just many more moving parts and pieces within a green hydrogen facility than a wind farm or a solar farm. Within a green hydrogen plant, you've got electrolyzers, you've got compression, you've got gas purification equipment, gas measurement, pipeline connections, you've got a control system with several thousand IO points that is operating your process, and it's also connected to your connection with the grid or your renewable energy source, and it also could be connected to the control system of your downstream customer. And the control system needs to operate, seamlessly with each other to be able to deliver a product in a safe, efficient manner. So that level of complexity is something that I believe is a little bit new for people from the traditional renewable energy resources industry.
Yeah, definitely a fascinating blend, I guess, and bringing those two different industries together in terms of electricals and chemicals, and hopefully producing cost competitive, winning green products, I guess is the name of the game. And in terms of ambient, are you targeting any specific niches in the industry? What is particular to the guys around you in terms of ambient, and what are the sort of projects you're working on?
Yeah, Ambient is a pure play green hydrogen developer. So we're not a company that is also developing renewable energy resources, and we're not a company that's developing electrolyzer technology. So we're indifferent to both, and we try to match the renewable energy resources and technology with the needs of the customer. We have been focused quite heavily on the existing users of hydrogen, since we think that that is the easiest and most logical place for green hydrogen to begin to be introduced. So that is the refining industry as well as the agricultural chemical industry. In addition, we have seen a desire to understand and explore green hydrogen from the electrical utility industry, the gas utility industry. There is a number of different companies that are looking at taking processes that use hydrogen directly to create renewable, sustainable fuels, such as sustainable aviation fuel, renewable diesel. And we have been working quite closely with them on the development of projects. And we've also been working with industrial customers as well that are looking to reduce their scope 1 and scope 2 emissions by replacing natural gas as either a fuel for their engines or for their industrial process heat source with hydrogen.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, there was a lot there, huge opportunity, and the industry, it's gonna be growing considerably. We're seeing tremendous interest, certainly in this second edition of the World Hydrogen Congress, North America. We've got one, I think, just over a week to go. We got a great lineup of speakers. We just had a sort of final call with General Wesley Clark, who's a former commander of NATO in Europe. So he's got some interesting things to say around the geopolitics, which is above all of the work that we're doing. Clearly, I'm speaking to you from Europe, where geopolitics is certainly on everyone's lips with the war in Ukraine. But yeah, I think it's going to be an awesome event in Houston, 15th, 17th of May. So really look forward to hearing from you and listening to the debates and meeting lots of great people. So many thanks, Kevin. Thanks for sharing your insight today. I look forward to catching up with you face to face in a week's time in Houston.
Thank you for inviting me to have this conversation, and I look forward to meeting you in Houston as well. So,
Excellent. Cheers. Take care.
you too.